So let's get real for a moment. 90% of traders are broke. That's not an exaggeration, not a scare tactic, not a random stat floating on the internet. It's the brutal reality. The vast majority of people who step into the trading world never make it, never sustain it, and never build anything beyond short bursts of false hope. And here's the question I want you to wrestle with right now. Why? Why do so many fail in an arena that looks like it should reward intelligence, ambition, and determination? Why do 90% of people who start this journey end up broke, frustrated, or walking away bitter? I'm going to strip this down today to 3 core mistakes, not 30. Not a list of random cliches you've heard 1,000 times. 3. 3 mistakes that keep traders broke, trapped, and repeating the same cycle of loss. And as we go through this, I want you to constantly ask yourself, which of these mistakes am I guilty of? Because chances are one of these 3 is sabotaging you right now. The first mistake is one you've probably justified 100 different ways. It's the mistake of treating trading as a lottery instead of a structure. Most people, even if they don't say it out loud, are approaching trading with the mindset of gambling. They're not building a system, they're not designing a model, and they're not creating intentionality. They're chasing wins. They're reacting to price. They're hoping that the next trade will be the one. And let's not lie to ourselves. That dopamine hit you feel when a trade goes instantly into profit, it's addictive. It tricks you into thinking you're in control. But behind the curtain, you've built nothing. You've got no structure to fall back on. Think about this. If you were building a house, would you just start stacking bricks randomly and hope one day it would turn into a mansion? Of course not. You'd need blueprints, foundation structure. But in trading, most people skip straight to stacking trades, stacking risks, stacking emotions, and they wonder why the house collapses. The mistake isn't just gambling. It's mistaking chaos for process. It's thinking activity equals progress. That's why so many people stay broke. They put in time, they put in energy, but they never build. The second mistake is deeper. It's the mistake of trying to predict instead of learning to position. I want you to really lean into this. Every trader thinks they need accuracy. They think their wealth depends on calling the market correctly. They obsess over indicators, news, chart patterns, anything that can give them a sense of certainty. And every single time, the market humbles them. Because here's the truth. Accuracy will never make you rich. The obsession with prediction is the fastest way to stay broke. Why? Because prediction is an ego game. It's you trying to be right about the market instead of aligning with the probabilities the market is offering. And here's the trap. Even when you're right, you're wrong. Because the more you obsess over accuracy, the less you focus on what actually matters. Risk, position size, consistency, execution. You might predict right 10 times in a row, but if your risk is off, if your psychology is impulsive, if your structure is absent, one wrong move wipes you out. And guess what? That's exactly what happens to most traders. They chase prediction until they burn themselves out, and the market reminds them, you're not here to be right. You're here to survive. So let me ask you directly, how much of your energy right now is wasted on trying to call the market instead of training yourself to follow a structured model? How much time are you wasting chasing accuracy instead of building discipline? If you're honest, that's mistake number 2, keeping you broke. And now we come to the third mistake, the one that seals the fate of most traders. It's not external, it's internal. It's the mistake of building no identity. Think about this. Every successful trader you've ever admired, whether you know them personally or not, operates from identity. They know who they are in the market. They know their structure. They know their edge. They've built an internal framework that doesn't shift every time the market does. But most traders, they're chameleons. They change strategies every week. They copy what's trending on YouTube. They jump from scalping to swing to options to crypto to Forex, hoping one method will save them. That's not identity. That's desperation. And without identity, every loss shakes you to the core. Every win feels like luck. Every drawdown feels like the end of the world. You never build consistency because you've never built a self that can execute consistently. This is why I keep telling people, the market isn't breaking you. Your lack of identity is. Until you know who you are in the market, You will always trade like a stranger, and strangers don't last here. So here they are, the 3 mistakes that keep 90% of traders broke. Gambling instead of building, predicting instead of positioning, and trading without identity. And if you've been listening closely, you'll realize they all connect. They all come down to one root cause: the refusal to build structure. Structure kills gambling. Structure kills prediction option. Structure gives you identity. But most traders don't want structure. They want excitement. They want the rush. They want to gamble, predict, and reinvent themselves every week. And that's why 90% fail. Let me put this in front of you directly. Right now, you're standing at a fork in the road. On one side is the path of the 90%. Broke, scattered, reactive, chasing highs, always close but never consistent. On the other side is the path of the 10%. Structured, intentional, patient, building identity, compounding discipline into wealth. The difference is not talent. It's not IQ. It's not luck. It's whether you will stop making these 3 mistakes and start building a structure that outlives your emotions. And I want to challenge you with something. After this video, I want you to sit down and write in your journal, your notes, wherever you keep your reflections. Which mistake is keeping me broke? Don't sugarcoat it. Don't rationalize it. Don't say a little bit of all 3. No. Which one has the strongest grip on you right now? Because until you name it, you can't kill it. Until you face it, you can't break it. Now you might be sitting there thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually build structure? How do I stop gambling, stop predicting, and start trading with identity? And here's the truth. That's why Trading Rebels exists. That's why I built this channel, to give you not just motivation, but a philosophy and a model that rewires the way you see the market. If you're tired of being part of the 90%, then this is your wake-up call. Hit that subscribe button, join the Rebel community, and commit to learning structure the way we teach it here. Because this isn't about tips, tricks, or hacks. This is about transformation. Listen to me carefully. The market will always expose the trader who refuses to change. You can hide behind signals, indicators, predictions, and gambling for a while, but the truth always surfaces. If you don't kill these 3 mistakes, they will kill your account, your confidence, and your potential. But if you're willing to rebel against the 90%, if you're willing to embrace structure, then wealth becomes not a fantasy, but a process. And that's the Rebel's advantage. So let me end with this. Every trader starts with hope. 90% end with regret. The 10% who break through aren't smarter, luckier, or more gifted. They're structured. They don't gamble, they don't obsess over prediction, and they know exactly who they are in the market. That's the choice in front of you. Which side will you belong to? Drop a comment right now and tell me, which mistake are you guilty of, and what will you do to stop it? I want to see who's serious about this rebellion. And if you're ready to step into the 10%, subscribe right now. Because this journey is just getting started. This is Trading Rebels. This is your moment. Don't waste it.